Hello, my friends. Welcome to SourceFlow. My name is Taylor Dunn, and in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to create different listing events for the items that you have already ordered. Now, in this part of the workflow, you have already ordered your products. You've now received the boxes to your house or even to your prep center, and you are ready to start creating listing events or checking in those products. This is going to be things like listing the products to Amazon for FBA, or even listing them for Merchant Fulfill, or if you are actually just checking them in for eBay. Also, when things go wrong, things like, say the items come in broken or damaged, and you need to check those products in and say, hey, this product that we ordered came in broken, and we need to get a refund for this. So I'm going to show you all that in this video. There's a lot to get through, so let's go ahead and jump into my computer and get started. All right, now that we're in my computer, you can see I'm on my dashboard page. I'm just going to navigate to my left-hand menu. And before I actually start diving into my orders, because I'm going to be checking products in and preparing them for shipment to FBA or to my favorite marketplace, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a shipping batch. So I'm actually going to click on the shipping button. And in here, I've already done this. You can actually see that I've created a shipping batch. And I do so by clicking on the Create Shipping Batch button up here in the top right-hand corner. If I do so, I will be able to name my shipping batch, the status. I fill out this information below, hit save, and a new shipping batch will have been created with a status of open in it. Now I can close these statuses once I'm finished. So if I send this off to Amazon, I can click on in transit. And then once the actual shipment arrives and is checked in at Amazon, I can then close it, or I can choose to close it right out of the gate, depending on how you want your workflow to work. There is a search bar in the top section where you can search certain keywords, or if you want to search an ASIN, you can do so, and it will show you all the shipping batches that contain that ASIN. If you want to filter out based off of the shipping batch status, you can do so here. Or if there's a date range that you want to look at, you can do so by selecting a date range. Just like all of our tables inside of SourceFlow, there is a customize button that you can click on to see more or less data on this table. If you ever want to view the items within a shipping batch, you can just click on the little eyeball button that says View Batch. Now that we have created our first shipping batch, let's go ahead and hop back over our left-hand menu, and we're going to go to orders. And you can see here, I only have one order to work off of right now. This is the order that we are going to use for this example. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually come over here, and I'm going to click the eyeball button and open up the order details page for this order. Now on the bottom of this page, you're going to see the items that you have ordered. They should have arrived to you. You're now standing there looking at your box. You've opened up the products within that box, and you're going to start checking these items in. On this first item here, we are going to create a successful listing event. So this means that the item came in correct, and we're sending it off into Amazon. And on the second item here, we're actually going to create what we call an error event, meaning that something went wrong. You got the wrong item. It came in broken. Basically, you're not going to be able to list this to Amazon or to your favorite marketplace, but instead you're going to send it off for a refund. So let's go over the listing event first. If I come to this item here and I come over to the action area and I click on create event, which is the little plus icon, it's going to open up this modal. Now by default, it's going to expect that I'm creating a listing event. If I click on this though, I can create a different events as well. You can see here we have a replacement event, return for a refund event, and a never received event. But for this item, we are listing this item, so we're going to create a listing event. The next thing we're going to do is select a shipping batch to attach this item to. So we're going to attach it to our test shipping batch, as you can see. Over to the right, I can change the platform. By default, it is set up for Amazon FBA. But if I want, I can select this for FBM or even eBay. There will be more marketplaces or platforms added on in the future, but these are the three that we have available from the get-go of SourceFlow. So I'm going to be sending in all four of these items into Amazon FBA. By default, this modal is going to fill in whatever quantity you have for this item. So you can see here that the four are already existing, but if I ever need to, I can change that. Say I only received 3 out of the 4, I can adjust that right then and there, but we're going to leave it at 4. Next is a quality control. This is optional. It's great if you have teams or a shipper to do this, but you can come in here and you can check things like that, the UPC match, the title match, image matches, or the description matches, or you can quickly just check all if everything checked out and is perfect. And this will be helpful in the future where you'll be able to see when you look at an item inside of Smart Data, you'll be able to see, hey, I ordered this last time, I received it. Did everything come in correctly? So filling in this information will be helpful in the future, but for now, this is completely optional. There is a section for expiration date. If your item does have an expiration date, this is where you can record it. as well as a UPC slot. So if you have a barcode scanner, you can scan in the UPC for this item. You can also create an MSKU as well while you are already here in the creation process of this listing event. If there are any notes that you might want to attach to this listing event, you can do so by adding it into the notes section below. But if you have all this filled out, you would just hit the create button. And you can see here now that in the event log, there is a new event for this ASIN, the quantity of 4, when it was created, and then the date that it was last updated. You can also see here that order leaf on this item has updated. We have ordered 4, we received 4, and we listed out all 4 units. If I scroll to the top of the page, you can actually see here that the orders order leaf has been updated as well. You can see here that out of the 8 items that were ordered, 4 have been received and 4 have been listed, meaning that we are at 50% completion for this order. If you come over here to the shipping batch, we will be able to see that this item has been added to the shipping batch. You can see here that all 4 units are now sitting in this shipping batch ready to go. Now let's go ahead and hop over to our orders and back over to our order details. And you can see the second item in this order. And this is going to be the one that didn't come in correctly. So we're going to actually create a error event. So just like a listing event, we're going to go to the create event button, click on that. And then we are going to come over here, and instead of selecting listing event, we are going to select the return for refund event. Now in the return for refund event, there are going to be a few options that you're going to need to fill out now, and then a few options that you're going to have to fill out later. Now being when you actually are sending the product off for a refund, and then at a later date when you're reconciling your credit card and are actually recording that refund that you get. A couple of things that we need to fill out right out of the get-go are going to be the number of items that are being affected by this return for refund event. Next is the expected amount that you expect to get for a refund. The reason why this is important is if you expect to get $75 back and you only get $50 back, we're going to want to know that discrepancy happened. So that way you can call back that supplier and figure out why that happened. For this example, this item is actually going to be $63.84. The next portions you don't need to fill out right away, which is going to be the actual refund. That is for when you actually are reconciling your credit card against your orders. You can then fill out what you actually got refunded back. The tracking number section is meant for when a supplier provides you with a shipping label. You want to be able to track that return in the future. You can actually just grab that number, copy and paste it into this section here. So that way you know that when you look back at this order, that this refund, you have a tracking number that you can look at if you're on the phone with the supplier and you're trying to figure out where, the item arrived to or didn't arrive to when you sent it back in to get your refund. The next box is going to be the refunded checkbox. Now you're going to normally want to leave this blank until you are actually refunded. This just lets you know that, hey, this order was refunded. It has been confirmed. The next is going to be the supplier notes and the issue notes. Now the supplier notes could be any notes that you might have with the supplier. So say you're talking to the supplier, getting your refund set up, and they charge let's say supplier charges a $5 restocking fee. Then you'll have the issue notes. So what happened with the product itself? We will then hit create. Now the idea here is that you'd actually take pictures of the products that are broken, attach it to the order. So that way when you are reconciling, you can have all the information right in front of you. So we're going to hit create. And now you're going to see that there's a new event log that has happened, which is an error event for this ASIN, how many units were affected, and then also the date that it was created and last updated. Likewise, you will also see that order leaf has updated. You ordered 4 of these products, but 4 of them came in with an error, okay, and you're waiting to get those items fixed. If we come up here to the order level order leaf, you're going to see that instead of a 50% or a certain percentage of this order being completed, it now switches to reconcile needed. Normally in this part of the process, you would change your order status to reconcile and you'd save those changes. And then at a later date, when you're reconciling your credit card with your orders, you would come here, look up all the orders that have a reconcile status. Say you see that you got refunded for this order. You would then open up this order. You would come over here to the event log and you would edit this order event. And when you go to edit, you would put in the rest of the information. So for example, on this one, you would say, because of the restocking fee, we got refunded $58.84. It was refunded. Okay. And you would click update. Once you have clicked update, and you'll have this little checkbox here that you can mark and you can say, hey, this was fixed. And by marking an error event as fixed, you can see here that you ordered 4. 4 had errors, but those 4 errors have been fixed. Okay. And if you come up to the top now, you can see that this listing event no longer has a reconcile status in the or leave section, but instead the 50% complete rate, just letting you know that only half of this order was sent into Amazon. There was some other stuff that happened. That does it for this video. If you ever have any questions about how to create listing events or create error events, please feel free to reach out to us at team@sourceflow.com. Other than that, I will see you on the next one.